If someone came up to you and asked what Christianity is all about, what would you say to them? And where would you start? For this series, what we're going to be doing is looking at some of the main points of Christianity and basically doing a crash course to look at different aspects of it. And my hope is it will help people like you be able to understand what Christianity is all about. And I understand this can be a daunting thing to think about because the answer to what Christianity is about is complicated. The full story of Christianity spans thousands of years. It includes people like Adam and Eve, Abraham, Moses, David, all the way to Jesus. The book for Christianity, the Bible, is actually a collection of 66 different books and letters written over the course of about 1,500 years. So what is Christianity all about? Well, it's complicated, but in this video, I want to show you how really the answer is quite simple. The foundation for Christianity doesn't require you to know a bunch of different cultures and understand ancient customs. The foundation for Christianity really just takes you to one single event. And that event is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I know that talking about a resurrection will raise some questions, but I just want to share with you what Christians in the first century put their faith in. I want to read from you a little section from 1 Corinthians chapter 15. And what's interesting about this is that it was written by a man named Paul, who for the first part of his life tried to discredit Christianity. He did all he could to get rid of Christians and to stop the Christian movement. But in the later part of his life, he was convinced that Christianity was for real, and it all had to do with the event of Jesus' resurrection. So Paul, a Christian preacher in the first century, put it this way. He said, "And if Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith." In other words, if Jesus was raised from the dead, then all of Christianity stands. If he wasn't raised from the dead, all of Christianity falls down. And what I can tell you is that Paul in the first century, a very smart, educated person, was convinced that Jesus rose from the dead. What I can also tell you is that within a couple of months of the event itself, thousands of people were convinced that he had risen from the dead. What I can also tell you is that in the first and second century, when Christianity had a lot of enemies, all the enemies had to do was show a body. But no one could show the body of Jesus because he had risen from the dead. And as you look at Jesus' own disciples and how they told the story of the resurrection, they would willingly face death rather than take back the faith in the one that they believed had been raised from the dead. When it comes to Christianity, I know it can be a complicated thing because it spans thousands of years of human history, and then you've got all sorts of teachings and doctrines alongside of it. But as we start this conversation about what Christianity is all about and maybe taking a crash course in Christianity, I want you to know that really the foundation is really simple. The foundation is in an event that happened, that Jesus really did come to live and die and rise again. All the evidence points to what he did for you. So if you have any questions about what happened, about how Jesus rose from the dead, or the evidence that there is for it, I encourage you to look into it for yourself. It's a deeper topic than we have time for in this video. There's some excellent resources, and if you want to learn more, I encourage you to reach out to our Time of Grace community at timeofgrace.org. We'd love to supply you with some resources and materials to help you as you search for who Jesus is and what he did for you. In the remaining videos in this series, we're going to look at more specific parts of Christianity and what we can learn in light of Jesus' resurrection. But for today, in this video, what I hope that you can take with you is that Jesus died and rose again, and for us, for the world, that changes everything.
Did you enjoy this video? If so, we would love to share even more Jesus with you, even if you have a busy, on-the-go kind of life. Just click here, and you can find the audio version for this podcast, along with all the other podcasts that Time of Grace offers.